Here we covered the story in Nkantolo village, home of the late ANC struggle veteran and party leader Tambo, getting access to clean drinking water for the first time since the inception of democracy 25 years ago. More than 230 households did not have potable water within the village of Nkantolo and relied on unsafe water resources.
Today, the Minister of CoGTa, Zweli Mkhize, is expected to hand over a water project that will provide reliable, clean water to the communities. Our reporter there is Zimkhita Macingwane, and she spoke to the Municipal Infrastructure Support Agent, CEO.
It is a happy day for the residents of Nkantolo village, just outside Mbizana in the Eastern Cape, where the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, will be officially handing over the taps that are available in this community with clean, safe drinking water that this community has been able to use since December last year, after a 9-month-long project took place for that people can have access to clean water. We were speaking to residents who were saying that they had to share their only water source with animals for the past 24 years, since the inception of democracy, that they had to leave without access to clean, safe drinking water. But now I'm joined by the CEO of Municipal Infrastructure Support Agent, who is just going to unpack for us the nitty-gritties of this project. I'm sure you're excited that it only took you guys 9 months to bring the water to this area. But let's talk about important issues of why it took government so long after 25 years of democracy, in fact 24 years of democracy, for a project that was only going to take 9 months to bring water to the people of this area.
Thank you very much, Zimkhita. A happy day indeed for the people of Nkantolo and the people of Mbizana in general. To answer your question, Zimkhita, I wouldn't say it took too long. There was a lot of planning involved. This project is part and parcel of a bigger, Greater Mbizana water rejuvenation scheme following the construction of Luteke Dam. As you know, there is a dam here which has been constructed, and now we're in a process of retulating that dam. Now, this scheme is part and parcel of that bigger project. And I must say, we were quite excited. It took us only 9 months. We did it on record time, within budget, and we started in April 2018. By December, you won't believe the people of this area were already collecting water from this project. And we issued the final completion certificate, the practical completion, in February 2019. So we are quite excited.
Okay. They are also excited that now, after the announcement that was made by the president late last year for communities to have flushing toilets, bringing water to these areas might be a step forward towards that dream of having flushing toilets. How is this water retulation project going to make that possible?
It is going to make that possible, Zimkhita. As I've indicated earlier, what we needed in this area first was to have capacity. And we've built a dam. The dam is there. Now what we are doing now is to do reticulation. We're starting with standpipes, but going forward we are busy with the process of reviewing the policy of national government in terms of access to basic services. Currently, in terms of the policy, we must do what we call RDP standards, which is a standpipe within 200 meter radius of a household. Now we're doing that, but we are reviewing the policy to say, if we want to make sure that the communities, one, take ownership of the resources as well as the infrastructure in their areas, we must then improve the level of service. And the level of service in this case, we were considering providing what we call household connections, and that will then result in a process where we meter this infrastructure and make sure that each household is metered and where possible, we are able to collect for those who can afford, and for those who cannot afford, we of course implement the indigent policy that national government is implementing.
Okay, we cannot talk about water access and not talking about the issue and the initiative of saving water. What would be your message to these communities? Because I know after they are given running water, they just open the taps, they don't report leaking taps. What is your message to this community of Nkantolo to take pride and save the water that they now have?
The message is simple. The people of Nkantolo knows where they are coming from. For many years, they did not have access to a clean running water. Now they have that access. Now, this is the infrastructure that belongs to them. And it is them who must therefore take care of the infrastructure, make sure that the infrastructure is not vandalized, make sure that where there is someone who is destroying infrastructure, they report that immediately. And of course, I'm saying if they own it, then it is up to themselves to make sure that it is protected. But also ourselves as government, we have got programs where we are training communities on how to use and save water. And we are embarking on a program of coming up with water conservation and demand management plans, which are aimed at assisting communities in terms of how to preserve water, how to treat water as a resource, as a very important resource that benefits the community.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, this project of access to water is definitely going to change the lives of the people of Nkantolo. We are told that they are inspired now to start community vegetable gardens, which they will be able to water with the water that they will be having. Well, as for animals as well, it's going to be a positive spin-off, because we are told that community farmers were not taking their animals to the streams in the village because they had to protect that water source for the community. Now, with many people depending on subsistence farming, they will be able to take their livestock to streams in the area so that they can have their own water source while the community is benefiting from the taps that they have been given by government.
Zimkhita, thank you very much indeed for that report.